All right, JoeyRitter.com, on Twitter at Joey Ritter. This is a very, very, very special episode of JoeyRitter.com. This is the year anniversary, and what better way to celebrate the year anniversary than by getting the very first guest we had on the show, Chris Fafalios. It is good to see you. How are you, sir?
I'm pretty good. How are you, Joe?
I'm good. Now, you remember doing this exactly 1 year ago?
Was it legitimately exactly 1 year ago?
No, I mean
Uh,
it's about 4 days off, but yeah, pretty
yeah,
much.
year goes by pretty fast. It's only 365 days. It's not really that long, I guess.
It seems like a long time though. It seems like a long time.
I don't think it seems that long ago that I sat in here and did this with you.
Okay, well, I don't know. I guess we've had different years and different things happen, but I'm happy to have you back on. Now I gotta say, man, a really a big reason why I started this whole show was, some inspiration from a lot of the things that you've done over the years. Some of the podcasts that you've done your own video blogs. You had a short-lived interview show that I thought was fantastic. I feel like you pulled the plug on that fast. It was called Quinterviews. It was 5 questions. It was a great concept. Why did you pull the plug on that so quickly?
It got canceled. I was it wasn't getting the viewership. YouTube decided to cancel it, so I couldn't do it anymore.
How does that work?
I don't know. I got canceled. I tried to get the views up and tried to get it going, and it just didn't take off. It was a failed project.
But couldn't you just do a spin-off and do your own YouTube videos and just upload them and do what you got to do?
I couldn't do it anymore, man. I didn't have the viewership. I failed.
I think there's something you're not telling me, but that's okay. That's fine. But expanding on that, I just watched a documentary recently on Johnny Carson. Fascinating 2-hour documentary on the whole history of how he got started, his family life, the whole bit. And towards the end of his career, he had guest hosts on his show. So Joan Rivers, for example, Jay Leno were guest hosts on the show. I would totally have you as a guest host and, take off a week and have you do an interview and just release it. I think that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So
you let me know. Maybe I can interview you.
that would actually kind of be cool. I wouldn't mind that. I've been thinking of questions the past year for people. It'd be nice to answer some myself. But yeah, you don't have to give me an answer now. The offer is definitely on the table. If you want to do it, you definitely can do it. But I mean, that said, I feel like you haven't been as active, posting videos, in the last year. Would I be accurate in saying that?
Yeah, I think you're accurate.
Is there any reason for that?
I, I don't know, man. I guess I'm lacking a little bit of inspiration.
Well, how do we get that inspiration back? What inspired you before to do it?
I don't know, man. I got to get that fire burning hot again. I'm I don't know.
There,
I ran dry.
there's so many good. I mean, you definitely don't want to force it. You don't want to put something up there just for the sake of putting it up there. I mean, nobody knows that better than me. But I don't know. I feel like what you were doing never got stale. It never got tired. And I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing that you're taking off all this time, and then whenever you feel creative and want to put something up, it'll do real well.
I'll get ready for a big comeback. I
I
just need to. I'm in a down cycle. That's all.
I feel like you always got something up your sleeve. Like there's always a method to whatever you're doing, even if you're not doing anything.
I'm glad I've set you up to think that way. But maybe I just don't have anything up my sleeves.
you
Maybe
got
I'm just chilling.
you got short sleeves on, but no. One thing that I wanted to ask you about was the writing on the walls of popular brands on Facebook.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to do to let the companies that you like know that you appreciate what they do. Just this week, I let Sears know that I bought my treadmill there, and I think it's a great store.
You know what?
Uh,
I bought my treadmill from Sears as well behind me.
is it a Nordic track?
It is, yes.
Choice. Good choice.
I'm actually looking to sell it, not because I don't want it. I definitely want it, but I need to like completely redo this basement. So that's a whole nother thing. But yes, you wrote on Sears wall, and did they get back to you? Did they respond?
Of course. All the companies are very kind. Eggland's Best was definitely the coolest so far. They sent me coupons for free eggs. They sent me a whole box of stuffed plush eggs, which I think I have them right here. Yep, little eggs. They sent me a giant box of
Oh,
these
that's awesome. Now,
little eggs.
to the people who aren't familiar with what we're talking about, it's kind of hard to explain over Skype, but try to explain what we're talking about. You basically go to a popular brand, a Sears, an Eggland's Best. I've seen you write
Wendy's
on the.
hooked me up.
What's that?
Wendy's hooked me up.
Wendy's is good, and I've noticed. I think I first noticed when you wrote on Gerber's wall. For
Yeah,
some reason,
Gerber.
for
They make
some
baby
reason, I
food.
like Gerber. I think it was just to enter a contest, and I just see you one day randomly writing on their wall like, "Hey, you have any food products for adults?"
Well, yeah, I mean, adults can eat baby food. It's not really that good. I remember one time I bought. I love sweet potatoes, so and I also wanted one of those little jars. I wanted to put something in the little jar, and so I bought the baby food and I ate it, and I was a little bit disappointed. It was a little bit bland. I love sweet potatoes. Those weren't the best I've ever had.
I I can see that. I can totally see that. But now, what was it just a matter of the companies getting back to you because you're not like sarcastic. You're very honest and sincere and friendly, and I feel like it's a social media person's wet dream to see the kind of comments that you're posting.
I really I just want to let the companies that I like know that they're doing a good job, and not a lot of people let them know, and they seem to really appreciate it. It's
But
there's no ulterior motive to it. I like J.C. Penney's. I want to let them know that I like their store. I like you know, whatever I like. But certain things I don't comment on certain walls. I don't like I don't like Taco Bell that much. So I don't comment on Taco Bell's wall but I don't say anything bad. I just don't comment.
is that just because you're not a fan of tacos in general,
I
or
like tacos. I just don't think I'm not even saying Taco Bell's bad, but I don't like it enough to go right on their wall. But maybe the Olive Garden, maybe I want to go right on their wall, let them know they do a good job.
you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. I had your buddy Tony Hartman on the show last week. We had a nice little 5-minute discussion about the Olive Garden. I feel like the Olive Garden gets a bad rap around here.
People like to make fun of it, but I mean, it's good, so
I don't
who
understand
cares?
why people like to make fun of it. Of all the things to hate on, I don't understand why the Olive Garden would be one of them.
I mean, they have one of the best salads I've ever had, and I mean, pretty much everything's pretty good. I mean, I'm not saying that it's the best restaurant I've ever eaten at, but you can go in there and spend $15 and get a great meal. So whatever.
Absolutely.
Like
Now, and speaking of the Tony Hartman, I'd like to thank you. I mean, you had a monopoly on that guy for years, and I kind of saw his brilliance through the work that you guys have done together, and he's just been a fantastic guest to have on the show. You just never know where the conversation is going to go with that guy.
he's he's stepping it up. He way passed me up at this point, but I figure let him do his thing. Let him blow up, and then he could just drag me along. Maybe
That's
that's
a
the way
good
I'm
method.
looking at it.
Now, I like to ask this. This is the most asked question on this show, but I feel like you would be a good person to ask this to. If you could time travel one way, would you go to the past or the future, and where would you go in time?
Oh, uh, hmm. You know, well, if I went to the future, would I have to like age that much, or
No,
can I stay the
no,
same
you're
age?
going as Chris Fafalios as you are right now, and you do have the
Uh,
option to come back to 2013 should you choose so.
oh, oh. Uh, you know what? I guess maybe I think it would be cool to go to the past and know all the things I know now. Do you ever
Completely
think about
agree.
that? I wish I could go to like when I was a little kid and tell myself, "Hey, be cool. Be cooler. You're such a dork. Just be cool."
So
And
you
then
go back to like 1991 or what?
yeah, okay, I was pretty cool in 1991, but maybe I would have told myself like, don't wet your hair and then put hair gel in it for the extreme wet look and slick it to your head, and don't wear big huge glasses and just be cool.
Yeah, but
Like,
you can't control. Your parents were buying you those glasses, right? You didn't have much of a say in
I
that matter.
know, but even like high school, I would have said like be cooler, man. Go out and party. Like don't be cooler, you know? That's all. I
Yeah,
would
but
just
you
tell
were
myself.
starting a band and writing music in high school, weren't
Yeah,
you?
but I was so dorky. Like when I when I look at our early band videos, like I was wearing like I blame ska music for this, but I wore like Hawaiian shirts, like big clothes. Like why didn't I go back and just be like cool and like not a complete dork?
Yeah, but do you think do you think you would be doing something different at this exact moment if you told
If I was
yourself to be
cooler then,
cooler?
but no, but maybe I would have had more fun. I guess I mean I had fun, but or maybe you know, playing in a band and stuff. We did uh a lot of cool tours and stuff like that. I might want to live those again, and uh maybe knowing what I know, approach certain things differently. But I don't know. I don't have regrets or anything, but it might be fun to go to the past. Whereas the future, I don't know. It kind of seems like I would like to go back to a time, maybe for a little while, where everyone didn't have cell phones. And,
Yeah, yeah.
uh, I really, really, I'm guilty of texting and stuff, and I think everyone is, and like that's accepted. But like, I really hate when you're hanging out with somebody and they get on the phone. Like,
When I start texting.
well, I text too. I'm guilty of that, but I think that like it's cool to like be where you are with the people you are with.
One thing that
And,
since we were talking about bands and this whole subject matter, when you watch a band video from even the late '90s, early 2000s, you don't see anybody in the crowd texting, and I felt like my band stopped playing music around the 2009 time period, and that was right where everybody started texting. Now you've played music, you still play music. Are there people in the crowd just, on their phones texting while you're trying to play music? Because that would really bother me.
well, yeah, of course. But I think, but on the other hand, there's also if you play a show nowadays, you can go home and like watch your set and see how you
Yeah.
played because like people are like recording videos and taking
Well,
pictures like
I'm
and
okay with the recording videos, but it's you can tell when someone's not paying attention and they're into
yeah,
their cell phone.
that wouldn't bother me.
That's cool.
Just because like what's weird about playing music or anything entertainment wise is that you got to be in a way you kind of have to like think really highly of yourself in a way to think like you gotta pay you gotta pay attention to me because I'm doing something so great right now, and
Right.
I'm gonna be offended if you don't watch what I'm doing.
So you're saying you
Whereas
should have that mentality or you shouldn't?
no, I don't really like that mentality. It's
Yeah.
uh I just thought about this the other day. This was like, oh man, it had to be, I was probably in college or maybe just out of college, but uh, Paul was filling in on bass for a band from Pittsburgh, and they were opening for the Used. And
Hmm.
I never heard of the Used before, and I actually went on to like them and think their music was kind of cool. I think a dude's a pretty good singer.
Sure.
But I went to their show, and there was like 30 people there, and I remember the singer. I was talking to somebody. I was at a show, and I was singing, and the dude yelled at me. He yelled. I mean, I think maybe that was like a shock value kind of thing, but that was really weird. I
He yelled at
thought
you for what?
talking during their set,
Oh,
during their loud music set.
that's weird. What did he? I mean, like in between songs or
Yeah,
during
yeah,
the
yeah.
song?
Like, hey, pay attention to me. Like, really angrily and meanly. And I hated their band for like. Then I heard their album. I thought, yeah, that's pretty good. Maybe he was just trying to be shocking or something. But
Have you
that's
ever yelled
beside.
at somebody in the crowd before
Oh yeah, yeah.
for like fighting or something like that?
I yelled at somebody for. I remember. Oh man, I I remember a show in Philadelphia where we played with we were on tour with Unsung Zeros, and I actually
What
think
venue is this? Because it's
Oh, it was,
Philadelphia. I got to know.
oh yeah. It might have been not. It might have been like a suburb, but it was like a, it was one of those hall
Yeah,
shows
yeah.
somewhere, and it wasn't Philadelphia. It was like a suburb, but it was us and Unsung Heroes. I think maybe Don't Look Down played that too, but that there was some dude like it looked like he was kind of making fun of me, like of my way of playing bass. And I remember like between songs, like being so vulgar and relentless at this kid to the point where he was just like, oh, and it was really uncomfortable. And I remember another show in Long Island where we were the only non-ska band playing,
Oh,
and
that's got to be tough.
they were like the real like, which I mean, it was at the downtown in Long Island, if you remember that place. It's not a place anymore,
Hmm.
but and there were like a lot of people that were cool and into it, but like there was a group of people in the back, the people with like the suits on and stuff, and they were chanting "emo sucks." And like, first of all, it's really funny that you thought Punchline is an emo band,
Right.
and I remember being pretty. I think I like took it over the line with like what I was gonna make them do to me or something like that. But yeah, a couple times I did that, but not very many times over the course of our band.
Yeah, but it's I wouldn't say it feels good to get that kind of revenge, but when you have the microphone, you usually can defeat whoever is taunting you in the crowd.
Yeah, I guess a
Even if
good
what they're
stand-up
saying is very clever, your microphone is way louder and chances are the crowd is going to side with the band. So you're in this power position that you're not usually in day-to-day life.
Yeah,
Like I
I would
remember
hate to be a stand-up comedian.
now that's a whole different thing. But I remember one time we were playing in Jersey, and I still feel bad when I think about this because this girl was actually rocking out to us and dancing and having a good time, and then there was a kid just trying to watch the show, and there wasn't many people there, so I was front and center for this, and she just kind of punched this guy in the back of the head, and the kid just kind of went down right in front of me. And after the song, I just called her out completely. And this is like a young girl, probably might have self-esteem issues, but I didn't even, this kind of stuff doesn't enter your head in the heat of the moment. And she just was embarrassed, and I think she might even left the show. And I feel bad, but at the same time, you shouldn't have punched the kid in the head in the back, right in front of me.
Would you ever want to be a stand-up comedian?
I would
I
love to
think that would be
just
the
try
worst
it.
life.
I think it would be a horrible lifestyle, but I've interviewed lots of comedians on this show, and pretty successful ones in Philadelphia, and it's just a certain personality that you have where it just doesn't get to you after a while. A lot of people try it and fail and can't do it, but the ones who taste the success of a good set and laughter, they need that, and it just fuels them for the tough nights where they bomb. What was your first job, Chris?
Well, I worked. My grandfather delivered pop, and
Pop
and
meaning soda.
yeah. Well, you guys don't say pop in Philadelphia.
No. Mm-mm.
Oh, I thought you guys did too. Anyway, we delivered pop, and it was a company called Regent, which they made like one of the pops we delivered was Cherokee Red. I don't know if you know Cherokee Red. It's
Is
like
that
a
the
red
brand
pop.
or the flavor?
It's the flavor. It's like a red pop. It has an
Sounds
Indian
good.
on it. But delivered pop to some local grocery stores. I would do that a couple days a week, like when I was, in the summer when I was like 12 or 13. And the cool thing about that is we delivered to a place called Peachins, which is like it was kind of weird. Like a lot of people went to Peachins. It was like a supermarket. It still exists actually, but it's kind of like you go there, like get real good deals on stuff, but the floors are like dirt. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's like a cross between a flea market and a supermarket, and like it's kind of awesome. But that's the first place I ever bought when it first came out. For the very first issue of CMJ magazine. Do you know CMJ?
I might. What is
I
it?
mean, it's a famous. They have CMJ festivals and stuff.
Oh,
It's like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
college music, and it would come. It came with a CD, and I would buy it every month at Peachins, and it's the first place I ever heard like Ben Folds. First place I ever heard Alanis Morissette. Like they just put out these CDs that were like 20 songs on them, and I don't know. I think I at that young age discovered so much music that I even still love today because I bought this magazine
That's
that came
interesting.
with
So you
CD.
weren't really listening to radio and such back then?
Radio, yeah, but not cool like music that I wouldn't have heard otherwise.
Oh, so did they have stations that played Ben Folds? Because they did in Philly.
Uh, yeah, but this was before Brick. This was way before Brick.
Oh, okay.
This was like uh, Ben Folds had this song Underground. I don't know if you know that song,
No.
but it's a pretty awesome song. But that was the first Ben Folds song I heard, and then it was years later before Brick, which was the song that made a huge.
Gotcha. Now, Chris, we sent a tweet out earlier today, and the tweet was, if you have any questions for Chris Fafalios, send them our way, and we'll read your name and ask them, and we got a decent response. So let's get to it. Simple question. First one is from Mikey O'Toole, who is at Mikey Mayfair, Mikey_Mayfair on Twitter. Just wants to know your choice of bass strings.
I use Ernie Ball bass strings.
Gotta use Ernie Ball.
The ones in the pink pack, whatever. I guess Super Slinky. Is that what those are?
I think so.
Yeah, the pink pack.
I use Ernie
I
Ball.
have a lot of those pink packs downstairs.
I think I moved from the yellow pack to the pink pack. That sounds familiar. It's been a while since I bought bass strings.
It's just the ones I've bought for the past 15 years or so. So I just kind of stuck with them.
Right.
I don't really have any super strong attachment to strings, but those Ernie Ball strings have always done
Ernie
me.
Ball is where it's at. All right. Next one comes from Felicia, who is at and I feel fine with underscores there. Can you touch your nose with your tongue? She wants to know.
No, I can't.
I can't either. It's tough.
I wish.
All right. Next one is from Anthony, who is at XNOME, KNOME. And he wants to know, what is your favorite NoFX album? Great question.
Obviously Punk and Drublic is number one. Number two for me is Heavy Petting Zoo.
That's interesting. I find that very interesting.
There's just awesome songs on that album.
Is that because of the time period it came out after Punk and Drublic? It was very different. It took me a while to accept that album.
I like the songs on that one. Number three would probably be White Trash, Two Ebes and a Bean.
Yeah,
I guess.
Good one.
What else?
Well, my favorite is Ribbed, and that's only because it's the first one that I heard. What's that face? Come on, so many good songs on there. Where's My Slice? Moron Brothers, New Boobs, Nowhere. So many good songs.
You probably like Liberal Animation.
No, I definitely don't like Liberal Animation. So you lump Ribbed in the Liberal Animation category?
No. Ribbed has a couple good songs.
Yeah. All right, next question comes from your buddy and my buddy, Dave Basella. And he asked 4 questions here.
Wow.
And I don't get one of them, but the first one is, if you were a character on Game of Thrones and could make up your own name, what would that name be?
Oh, I gotta make up my own name? I thought he was just gonna ask me what character I wanted to be on Game of Thrones. Could I just make it that instead?
Sure.
Oh, man.
Because I'm not familiar with the show enough to talk about it.
Man, is that tough. There's so many. Oh, man. Look, you got to promise me you're going to watch Game of Thrones. I know watching an entire series is a big commitment, but there's only 10 episodes per season. There's 3 seasons, and you could be caught up real quick. And honestly, Game of Thrones is not only I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's not only my favorite show ever, it's my favorite thing in entertainment ever. Like music, movies, shows, anything entertainment.
Wow,
Game of Thrones.
That's a big call. Game
of Thrones is the best. Like, I'm reading the books now. That's how much I like it.
Okay.
And the books are, they're long books. they're not like War and Peace or whatever, but I pretty much, other than doing this interview with you right now, the past week, I've pretty much only read Game of Thrones.
Okay.
And
well, you got to answer the question though. Who's the character?
I will be I keep wanting to say characters, but then the characters I want to say they're dead.
That's okay.
uh, um, I'm thinking so hard.
You want to come back to that one?
Yeah.
All right. All right. And the next one is: have you seen the film Lightning Bug Sex Tape? Which is
I did.
Hilarious.
That was hot stuff.
Hilarious. Now this last question I love: Crosby or Cosby?
You know what? Crosby, because Sidney Crosby's one of my two younger idols. He's younger than me, but I idolize him.
We have another Cosby Show question. Is it? Do you tweet about the Cosbys? Why are people asking you Cosby questions?
No.
All right. Well, Tori Latorello wants to know.
Hey, Tori.
Yes, sweet gal. We love Tori. Who's your favorite Huxtable from the Cosby Show?
Theo.
By far.
Yeah, you gotta love Theo. Yeah, he's one of the dudes ever.
I think this is an inside question that I'm hoping you can shed some light on. This is from Amy Roberts, who is at Amy Lynn Roberts on Twitter.
Hey, Amy.
Hi, Chris. What is the proper way to say steadfast in the Belle Vernon alma mater? What does that question mean? I don't understand the question. I know it's where you went to high school.
I think it's from the original Punchline Rewind DVD. Did you ever see that?
Yes, we were talking about the harmony or... Yeah, okay, I got it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember. I think I yelled it. I actually didn't know how the Belle Vernon alma mater song went. I still don't really.
Next one is Jeremy Eisner, who is at Cyber DYNET
hey, Jeremy
815. Cyberdyne with some numbers. Who's your favorite Angry Bird?
Not much of an Angry Birds guy, really. I mean, back in the day, I used to play some Doodle Jump. But Angry Birds, I played that for like 4 or 5 days, and I was over it.
Yeah, I haven't got... I think that's an iPhone thing more. That's why I didn't get into it. And, you know, this makes sense given that we talked about Eggland's Best, because I was puzzled by this one too. But this comes from Katie, who is KT2 Morrow, number 2. Do you think Punchline will ever write a commercial jingle for Eggland's Best?
I wish. I hope Eggland's Best makes us an offer, or just asks us to do it. That would be cool because I don't know. I eat their eggs every morning. Plenty of protein. Eggs are great for you, and they're a great company.
I think that's an easy way to break into. I always, thought when I watched like Full House with Uncle Jesse or Joey writing jingles, I always thought that would be my dream job. I feel like tweeting a company jingles, if you do like 40 companies, eventually you might break through because I don't think anybody's doing that.
Yeah, why not?
That's a good way to break into the business.
Yeah.
So
I would get in that. Do you watch Uncle Jesse on what?
Jimmy Fallon?
Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah, that was pretty excellent.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, he did no, but did he sing that live or did he lip sync?
Oh, that was 100% live.
Maybe it was the internet connection because I feel like the voice didn't match up with the audio.
Well, they sounded perfect.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They sounded perfect,
they sounded so perfect, just like they should.
Did he? But I guess it sounded like his voice. But I don't know. I guess I'm always weird.
I never even knew it was Jesse and the Rippers playing the theme song either.
Oh, it wasn't. He just covered it.
No, it's them.
No, the actual theme song
it's
that
them.
wasn't.
There's so many things you didn't realize that. Well, I always picture the characters from the sitcom singing the theme songs. Like obviously, Golden Girls. I always pictured that was Blanche singing that theme song.
Yeah.
I
can see that.
Growing Pains, I always pictured that was Alan Thicke.
Yep.
And Family Ties, I always figured that was Michael Gross. And the woman, I forget her name, but I always figured that's the people. The people on the show are the ones singing the theme songs.
Well, Family Ties is actually Johnny Mathis, and he is the
Really?
vocalist. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
What would we do, baby,
No, no, I'm sorry.
without us?
He sings one of those. He sings what? I think so. Yeah, I
And
think
there
so.
ain't no nothing we can love each other through.
Now, yeah, Perfect Strangers. Who do you think sings that one?
Oh, cousin Larry.
Larry.
Yeah,
Who would sing the Facts of Life theme song?
probably Tootie.
I'm thinking it's the housekeeper woman from Different Strokes. I don't know her character name.
Oh, Miss. I forget her name. Maybe it was Blair singing it.
At least
Blair
the
Tootie.
Brady Bunch definitely sang the theme song,
Yeah,
and Partridge Family, David Cassidy sang that.
yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting concept. I do picture that the characters sing the theme
Yeah.
song. Who would have sang the Friends theme song?
Oh, that was a special. That was the what were they called?
There was the
Uh,
Rembrandts.
the
Okay.
Rembrandts. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's true.
The three bands I always get confused. They're probably all way different, but I don't really listen to any of them. Is the Rembrandts, the Replacements, and the Refreshments.
Refreshments,
Those
right?
three bands, they could all be the same band. I know the Replacements are probably like a big like legendary band to like people that like listen to them, right?
Right.
I don't know anything about that band.
Do you know what
I
song the
don't know a single
Refreshments
song.
sang?
The Refreshments, don't they do the song from King of the Hill?
I don't know about that, but they sang
I think they do.
Banditos in
Yeah,
the
yeah, that's
midnight.
they do the King of the Hill theme song. Dun 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 dun
Okay,
dun
all right.
dun 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 dun.
Which
That song's awesome.
which Seinfeld character do you think played the bass line?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe Newman.
Chris, it was a pleasure having you on the year anniversary of JoeyRitter.com. Your Twitter is Chris Fafalios. Spell that for everybody.
Fafalios.
I'm glad I would have been like Fafalios.
Fafalios.
It's a good rhythm the way you did it.
Yep, Fafalios.
All right, man. Well, hopefully you'll be on the 2-year anniversary.
Thanks for having me. I
As well.
hope that wasn't too boring.
No, never are. All right, Chris, keep killing it.